Alright guys, so I'm back with another video essay. This time we're going to talk about reading nonfiction versus fiction. This one's a bit more formal than like the ones that I usually write in my other videos. So just keep that in mind while I'm reading it out. In recent years, as I've gone through many changes both mentally and physically, I have found myself in a constant pursuit of self-improvement. Whether that be strengthening the mind through prayer, meditation, and affirmation, or bettering myself physically, like going to the gym, working harder, and eating healthy. It's otherwise a general pursuit of good habits and a removal of bad habits. One of the most tried and true methods on self-improvement is reading self-help books. When you get into the space of YouTube videos and stuff, everyone tells you to read these kinds of books, right? You probably recognize most of this. Everyone probably recognizes this one. But yeah, everyone tells you to read these same books, and as you read them, you kind of soon just realize that most of these so-called self-help books mostly just say the same few things. They say the things that you already know deep down, but you just don't acknowledge them, or you don't give them enough attention. In some ways, it's going to be very beneficial because reading an entire book about one core principle or concept can really hammer it in to your psyche. Another benefit is that reading can be one of those good habits that you add to your life to replace something bad like scrolling on social media. There are some self-help books, more specifically the ones about money, kind of like this one, or about social skills, like this one, that can be very beneficial because they give many insights into specific things about each topic. When it comes to the self-help books that are more about mindset, however, which a lot of them still are, like even though this is about social skills and this is about money, but it's really about mindset, to be honest. They tend to just get super repetitive, especially a book like this. They just kind of hammer in the same things over and over again, and it's not a bad thing. Like what they're saying is usually true. It's very good advice, but as you start to read it, it just kind of becomes like a drag, and you're just like, what? Like I'm just reading the same thing over and over again. And a lot of stuff, it's like once you kind of just get the idea real fast. So reading fiction can be a lot more fun and interesting, and can help people who struggle to read long self-help books because they're trying to stop scrolling. Fiction won't have the same kind of lessons where they hammer it in about mindset and hustle culture, but it might have something better. Every story has something to learn from, whether it's a murder mystery, a romance novel, or an allegory for an event in history, like historical fiction. Fiction is not only more likely to get you away from your scrolling, but it actually equips your arsenal with something unique, something that makes you think. Like I said, most of these self-help books just kind of say the same couple of things over and over again. If you continue reading these types of books, you kind of just end up becoming this sort of self-improvement aficionado, someone who is obsessed with self-help. The truth is, reading more and more self-help books and becoming obsessed with it will just keep you stuck forever. Because like I said, you already know what you need to do. It's likely you're using self-help books to make you feel productive, like you're progressing, but in reality, you've just plateaued. You just see reading the self-help books, you keep reading the next one and the next one, thinking that it's going to give you like some secret sauce or something, but they're all basically the same. I mean, you already know what you need to do. So start doing what you need to do. It's easier said than done, obviously, but no one said it was going to be easy. But also start reading some fiction. Expand your horizon. Pick up old timeless classics like The Great Gatsby, Lord of the Flies, Fahrenheit 451, and Animal Farm. These, the type of books that they made you read in school, these are actually all like books that I read in school, or like I didn't actually ever read them because, school made me read it and I didn't feel like reading it, so I just never read it. And I kind of knew the story because, like, I had to, like, search up the summary to, talk in the discussions in class. But I remember those discussions always being, like, pretty interesting, the topics that they talk about, even though these books are, like, like 60, 70, 80, even like 100 years old, a lot of the topics that they talk about are still relevant in today's society. So, yeah, I mean, school kind of took the fun out of reading, but the books that they chose are actually very interesting once you actually start to read them, and like once you read them on your own and you think about the ideas that they have. But books like these are timeless classics. They teach lessons that are still relevant today, and most importantly, they make you think, like I said. They take your mind somewhere, something that you will never really experience while reading a boring list of principles in some self-help book. So we're gonna put these down. I have so many of these because I was like in like a, I don't know if you've had a phase like a self-improvement phase where you just get super obsessed and you buy all these books and you read them and you just keep reading them and you're wondering why nothing's getting better. Reading is a very important skill in like reading comprehension, and like I notice like nowadays when I'm reading, a lot of us I think can relate to this. You're reading and you read like a page and you realize you have no idea what you just read. And yeah, so read some fiction. I know, like I've been, like I said, like I read like The Great Gatsby recently. Fahrenheit 451 I haven't read, but I want to read it again because I read it in high school, and I thought it was interesting, but I didn't actually like read the whole thing like properly. It was kind of like I read the summary and stuff, and then I also read Animal Farm recently, which I have all those on my Kindle. I don't have like a physical copy of them, but reading these books, I mean, they really just make you think, and like honestly, like because I've been writing more, like I like to write about the ideas. Another book that I've been reading is this book called Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. And I'm only like 20 pages in, but he's just talking about morality, and that's something that I'm really interested in, like the concept of morality. And I just started writing about morality. I've been writing an essay about morality, and yeah, I mean, stuff like that really like strengthens your brain, your reading comprehension. I think things like this, you know that one like Socrates quote that says like, it's something like, weak men discuss people, um, another like average minds discuss events, and then like strong minds discuss ideas. It's like ideas, like this discussion of ideas is what really matters, right? What really progresses our brain, right? Actually thinking about ideas and discussing them and writing them down and thinking about that. I think that's very important for your development as a strong, well-rounded individual.